You are listening to High Score 510, where real talk is our vernacular.
Well, let's get into some sports. Our number one sports topic. How you doing over there, Jason? Jason, you gonna show us your man cave real quick?
He ain't got no clothes on.
This nigga sitting on the toilet with no shirt on.
He's sitting on the toilet. He's sitting on the toilet with the cool cigarette in his mouth.
And a candle lit in the back.
Don't come in here for 30 to 45 minutes.
He out here steeping his balls in the toilet.
I like to run the water for a while to fill the bowl almost to flooding, and then I sit on it.
Dude, something's wrong with you. That boy steeping his balls for at least 20 to 35 minutes.
I got like that testy tea, the testicle tea.
Testy tea, baby.
All right. Well, let's get into sports. All right. Brandon. You guys want to see a funny video?
Yeah. If we say no, will you still play it?
Yeah. I missed the joke.
The person tweeted, theater kids do not get bullied enough.
Oh, do not get bullied enough.
What is this shit?
Dude, yeah.
Right. If I was in a Denny's late night and then motherfuckers just decided to all get up and start doing their theater thing they've been practicing too much for the last 3 months because they think they're good because they traveling around doing shitty hipster horcrux theater like Grease, then I'm going to tell them sit down and shut the fuck up. If this ain't Tourette's without regrets, sit your ass down. We got time for that.
Looked like they were at Panera Bread, though. They were upscale.
Come on.
Does it look like Panera Bread?
It didn't look like no regular Denny's. It's too much space in there. I don't know when the last time you've been in Denny's, but they really tried to pack you in there, though. Sitting way too close to people, talking about how they're going to break up or what illegal shit they're doing.
Dude, Panera Bread is disgusting, bro. I went to Panera Bread. I was not impressed.
I guess Panera's 33 years old. When was his first chain?
Cool.
Oh, there goes the pork sow.
I don't really have much to say to you, Jared.
I know you don't, because you didn't read the email.
I don't even know what you're talking about now, bro. You just a joke.
Adarius always be out there with that goddamn Snow White birds chirping in the goddamn background.
Yeah, it's like the place near where my apartment is. It's the only place I can legally smoke because it's the only place that you can legally walk to where nobody will see your black ass.
Oh, that's good. Well, except for Snow White. So, well, anyways, I guess we can start the show.
Yeah, I like your sports bra. That's really nice.
Hey, bro.
Hey, I think that's the sports bra that the women's gymnastics team were wearing to hide their breast growth.
No, that's
Hey,
a reversible one.
Shout out to Luke
on the front, but then you can reverse it and say Berkeley High on the other side.
Shout out to Luke Brokenmeyer for having a broke ass story in memory of me saying anything to him. But anyway,
no, Jared,
shout out
it's reverberated throughout the bay. A lot of people think you went to Berkeley High.
A lot of people think went to Berkeley High because
that rumor just don't start. Even if you from Berkeley, like I know a lot of kids who are from Berkeley, who lived in Berkeley, who went to Berkeley schools their whole lives, but then in high school went to Maybach. Everybody knew they went to Maybach. And that's in Berkeley, nigga.
It's because they got that money. They got that Maybach money.
Maybach.
They got that Maybach money, bro.
We knew St. Mary's kids, even who lived in Berkeley. They just went to St. Mary's. They went to St. Mary's. There was no way you could start a rumor unless you started it, dude. Why would other people start rumors about you going to another high school, nigga?
I don't know, because
Multiple.
Hey, did Luke Brokenmeyer go to Berkeley High or Athenian?
No, he went to Tech.
I don't know where he went. He went to Tech.
He went to Tech, but he's another kid whose family works in Berkeley. So we've known.
Oh, he was like Jarrett.
Oh,
Everybody
he
knew
was
because
like
his
His family worked in Berkeley. Here's
His
another
dad
thing
worked
that y'all
in
got to
Berkeley.
realize. Here's another thing you got to realize. Here, I'm going to tell you something else.
He's another Jerry. He told the truth. He told the truth.
He told his truth. You know, that's a white man telling a white truth. I don't trust no white truth.
Oh, okay.
You want to get into some real truth, nigga. The other thing I must say, no, it's not about race. It's about historical credibility and consistency.
In the ninth grade, you had a conk haircut. Why you down in the white man?
That's a white man with white problems. You deal with it.
You might want to call Charlotte Johansson and give her back her anal beads.
Hey, man, I don't know who Charlotte Johansson is, but Adarius, we're going to start the show off with you getting a magic moment.
Magic moment.
That's for you, Adarius. You get a magic moment for calling out Charlotte Johansson.
All right, cool.
Hey, y'all, this show is off to a hot start.
Brandon, the show started?
You two arguing. You two arguing for
This nigga won't come on and argue with me. I ain't trying to argue. He won't come on. He want to bring the hot soup. He want to bring the hot soup.
Yeah, because you a bitch in the Athenian crop top.
Bruh, represent Luke Broken Miser. Gang, gang.
Hey, there's some field hockey chick missing her jersey right now.
And what grade she in, Adarius?
It's some ninth grade field hockey girl missing her jersey.
Hey, man, I feel this thing out better than her and all those U.S. gymnasts.
Some ninth grade field hockey missing a jersey, Athenian jersey.
Hey, y'all hear about the gymnastics coach that got suspended for 8 years?
Yep.
It sounds like you ain't gonna be able to work for another 8 years, dude. Bitch ass.
What is wrong with y'all?
What's up, Jason? We gotta turn on your video. Or what you scaling some fishes right now?
I'm chilling in my man cave right now, so I thought I would just watch and be more. Hello, everyone. This is Jay.
Oh no, GJ.
Hey, I thought you was at Whiskey Slew and you just didn't want to put your video on because you lying, acting like you at the house.
I was near. I was near Whiskey Slew today.
If it really exists, you was in your backyard fishing off the side of a highway.
On the side of a curb, actually.
Ain't no such thing as Whiskey Slew, man. You lied to me. You told me we was going to Whiskey Slew. Next thing I know, you telling me to cast my fishing line off the highway next to a liquor store.
Yeah, Whiskey Slew is a move that niggas do in Cedar Rose Park. That's when they go jack off in the handicap bathroom.
Come on.
What the hell? No, I took Aaron fishing. I took Aaron fishing, and then before I knew it, I didn't know. He was over there sleeping, over there sweating like a slave. That's my fault.
I didn't know you picked the hottest day of the year to go fishing, and then you were like, remember, you were like, hey, Aaron, man, this store got great sandwiches. So I was like, all right, cool, I ain't gonna eat. And then man, we get out there, the store didn't have no sandwiches. All I remember is Jason had me fishing in like 100-degree weather, sitting in the sun. I fell asleep in a lawn chair. He didn't wake me up when the sun moved, and I was just sweating. I thought I fell in the water, but it was my own sweat when I woke up. And he's like, man, you had a big fish on your line, man. Like, man, I'm trying not to die.
I thought you was one of them Alabama Negroes, Aaron.
Yeah, but you use the humidity, not this.
Aaron was over there sweating like a slave.
I was sweating.
I thought he was about to say, hey, boss, you got a catfish on there.
Thank God. If Jason would have had a white friend, he would have been burnt up, and Jason would have probably got arrested for neglect.
You're putting a white person in danger.
You ever seen a river run through it?
I didn't watch that boring ass movie.
Man, you go to Montana to fly fish, and you never watch a river run through it.
Yeah, I ain't trying to watch a movie about doing that shit. It's like, nigga, dude, I will go do that.
That movie makes you understand people from Montana and their love for fishing. It was actually a great movie.
There's certain things that, like, that you can watch that you be like, you know, like it's not you doing it, and you're like, oh, that seems fun, that's entertaining, you know, like action movies or
Why not do
porn,
both?
right? But like watching somebody fly fish is not a movie.
They're not
about
fly fishing the whole fucking movie. The movie's not even about fly fishing.
It's about
fly fishing.
It's about white people living in desolate areas and then going fly fishing, Aaron. That's a boring ass movie.
I think Ronald Reagan. I think Ronald Reagan was in the movie.
Yeah.
No.
Robert Redford.
It was Robert Redford produced it and directed it. It was Brad Pitt and Craig Schaefer and my boy Tom Skerritt.
Sometimes Craig Schaefer from David Letterman.
No, Craig. You know what I'm
Craig
talking
Sager.
about. And Jared, you watch as many shitty movies you watch on Netflix and everything else. You can't take time to watch a classic movie that came out in like the 80s.
That is the classic. That is the classic definition of a hipster horcrux, Aaron. And I'm starting to realize you like hipster horcrux type things.
To do with the hipster horcrux.
The same reason why you know Emma Rawson's seats at the New York Knicks games. And the name of her dog,
because she fine. That ain't got shit to do with hipster
horcrux. You love things that will end up being hipster horcrux at a certain point. That movie is hipster horcrux, bro.
That movie is not hipster. I'm willing to bet there's no hipsters that have even seen that damn movie.
Yeah, I bet you 5. Anyways,
put it out there. Start a poll.
Nigga. I ain't got time to start no poll right now.
Nah, you too busy watching shitty ass Netflix movies.
No, hey, what I have been watching though is I've been watching Liam Neeson and Bruce Willis movies.
Exactly.
The old washed up movies. Not even the ones where they were in their prime, but the ones where they now old and washed up, where they playing old dudes. It's pretty entertaining.
I want to see a
black man.
I want to see a Liam Neeson movie where somebody snatch your chain and then you get Liam Neeson to help you get that shit back. It's called chain taking.
If we want to talk about Netflix movie, I watched the worst one, especially when this Corona shit starts. Hell, was like, let's watch this movie called Quarantine. That was the worst goddamn or Rapid, whatever. Either Quarantine or Rapid. I think it was called Rapid. It was the worst movie ever. If you want doing this shit, we started watching it, and then I think I got anxiety down.
You got anxiety damn from a movie?
Sounds about right.
Come on, man. Man, the dude had a fine wife. He had a fine wife. I don't even know the actor. It was Netflix. You don't never know the actresses or the actors. They weren't even British. And all of a sudden, she starts spitting out blood, and he still. He still want to start, he still want to be romantic and bring out flowers and watch a movie with him.
What the hell is Jason watching, dude?
I know, nigga.
Was it a Swedish film?
You watching a snuff film?
That sounds crazy, dog.
It was crazy. I had to turn it off. I said, "This is causing me anxiety right now."
He was watching that old school deep German dungeon porn, where they was like, "It's like we fuck sick bitches."
Yeah, was he just spearing her face?
No, she spit on the goddamn glass. They was separated because they quarantined her ass, and then they were talking, and all of a sudden.
Was it Junior in this movie? Gwyneth Paltrow and Matt Damon?
You sure this wasn't the end of Kingsman?
It was called Rapid.
You sure it didn't have Cuba Gooding Jr.? Mekhi Phifer? That old HBO movie where he had to get a thing tattooed on his chest because he was positive, a P or something?
Oh my God. It was a new movie they put out on Netflix. And she's like, let's watch this. I was like, no, you shouldn't be watching this shit right now.
I'll tell you what I have. I'll tell you a good movie to watch right now. If y'all want to see some good old-fashioned racism, go on Amazon Prime and watch Mr. Chan or Charlie Chan movies. The ones featuring Sidney Toler and Mantan Moreland, bro. That shit is off the hook. Because I love it because I get it from all angles. I get the racist fake Chinese accent because the old white man playing a Chinese dude with his eyelids taped back and he got a shitty mustache, kind of like what I got right here. And he talks in a bad Chinese accent, but like, haha, this look like man who fall from floor. Like that kind of shit. And then you got Mantan Moreland, who's one of the OG coons of Hollywood back in the day, in the 40s. And that nigga is jive cooning high level. Like he wrote the book on how to be a high level coon. So shout out sponsorship to all that.
Are you gonna start the show?
I guess we could. But check out, Charlie Chan movies, Amazon Prime, from the 40s, bro. Real talk.
I think you should. I think I'll watch that after you watch A River Runs Through It.
You watch a Charlie Chan movie, and then you watch River Runs Through It. You tell me which one's more entertaining.
Why would I have to watch a Charlie Chan movie when I talk to you every week?
That is a good point.
That's perfect.
I got a question.
It's a good move. Good move.
Where's Adarius? Adarius, are you in Tilden? You just park somewhere in Tilden?
I'm at my smoke spot. So if you, it's a long story. Basically, weed in Oregon. I'm living in Oregon. Okay. Weed in Oregon.
He's on the Western Confederate side.
Yeah, everywhere you go in Oregon, there's weed. So you can buy it, but you can't smoke it unless you own a house.
Yeah, you got to be in your house. You could be on your porch and smoke it.
I'm living in corporate housing. I've exhausted all of my smoke spots on that block. Until now, I smoke. I've gotten the cops damn near fucked with me on every smoke spot near my block. So now I have to drive about 5-8 minutes out to a creek, and that's where I smoke.
Hey, be careful, Dars. According to DJartt, that Hanging Brothers right down from there.
They definitely do. I believe them.
That's what he said in Portland. They Hanging Brothers down. If you go 10 minutes down that way, they still Hanging Brothers. That's what J.R. Ryder quote him.
Yeah, literally 10 minutes away from Nike headquarters is active, as Jarrett likes to call them, Crew Crux members.
Crew Crux Cran.
the Crew Crux Cran.
All right, well, let's start the show.
Oh, wow. Finally.
Wow,
that's great.
Anyways, y'all ready to start the show?
Wow.
Yeah,
Jason.
You started it.
Jason, I need a letter. I need a letter, Jason.
What is that letter?
Just any letter. I need a letter.
Okay, let's go with J.
See, I told you my theory is like spot on. My theory is spot on. My theory is that everyone pretty much almost like 90% of people choose the first letter of their first name.
Well, my name is Adarius, and I never chose an A. I have chosen D a bunch, but that's because I want D to be in your mouth when we start the show. So,
Darius's wet dream has always envisioned me with D in his mouth, or in my mouth, apparently. Anyway,
I don't have wet dreams, Jared. I become gold bomb.
I don't have wet dreams because I powder my feet like powder donuts.
I ejaculate gold bomb, Jared.
Hey, you know how like reindeers grow horns that are the same material as our nails? Adarius grow toenails that are the same material as peanut brittle. J for
junior varsity field hockey jersey.
Okay.
Junior varsity Jared jersey.
Joanna man.
Jingle bells. I do kind of like. All right, jilted. Jemimas. Jiggling.
That's a G, nigga.
Django's.
Jenga.
Jenga. Jubilee. Jiffy Skip.
Jankum.
Jojo Rabbit. Jojo Rabbit. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to High Score 510 podcast and Adarius Spitting Loogies. You can catch us on the at High Score 510 on Instagram, Twitter, and the YouTube or any streaming platform other than Spotify, because in my opinion, Spotify ain't shit. Shout out sponsorship. You can also check us out at highscore510.com. And you can engage with us and email the show questions or topics at highscore510.fans@gmail.com. And we are here with...
This is Aaron Grayson III, also known as AG3, coming at you faster than a black person in Chicago going to a street twerk-off contest during the quarantine.
Ladies, my Mercedes.
And we are also here with...
Hey, yo, this is Brandon, a.k.a. Taco Pablo. Just, 45 minutes in, trying to start the show.
Morning, nigga.
Did you hear what that said?
I did.
No, but he does. No. We don't want to hear it again. No.
Just in case, Adarius, this one's for you.
Morning, nigga.
Jason, good. This one's for you.
Morning, nigga.
Peadro,
Morning, nigga.
Aaron,
Morning, nigga.
and I'm only half, so I'll give myself. I guess I'll give myself one too.
Morning, nigga.
And we are also here with.
Yeah, man. What's up, man? This is Adarius, a.k.a. Smoking Out with Your Nanny, because she probably got better weed than your granny. But we got to be 6 feet away, so I'm going to use one of them handicap claws to pass the weed.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
And we are also here with first-time guest on the show, Mr. Goode.
I'm Jay Goode, one of Berkeley's finest, a.k.a. Aaron, and get this, and maybe Jarrett, Dual Shock 06. Dual Shock 06 at Yahoo.
Yeah. Hey, thanks to him is the reason why many of my adult accounts has the name Dual Shock in it. I got to thank Jason for that. That was the perfect thing. I used to go in just using my real name until years ago Jason taught me Dual Shock. I ain't never looked at the PlayStation controller the same since.
All right, here we go. Here goes Jason's soundbite. I don't know what this one is. Let's find out.
No, he needs some milk.
Yo,
Some Cambodian breast milk?
Is
That's what Aaron
Is
needs.
DualShock 6 the name of a gang-banging mixtape?
Could be. And my name is Jarrett, a.k.a. DJartt, with 2 T's for a double dose of that tink tink. The D is silent, so it's just Jartt.
That boy good. Good and terrible.
Couple of just newsworthy items that typically we find throughout the week that are really important to the world and sometimes the world of sports, potentially.
I was unclear about the subject matter of the show.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Really lost here.
After listening to the show, it was like, where? What?
Sometimes we get into sports, but we get into other, we're sports and society, Well, first bit of news is
Non-sports.
it comes out of Georgia. Georgia is one of the hubs of this pandemic's maverick decision making, we could say. But out of Georgia this week, 2 men were hospitalized after drinking disinfectant in hopes of combating and fighting the COVID-19. One man had a psychiatric disorder and background. He admitted to drinking 16 ounces of bleach. Another man had ingested a cocktail of items, including pine sol, mouthwash, beer, and pain medication.
I wish you did that.
My question is, if you guys were going to make a disinfectant cocktail, what would be in it for you?
Probably, I've been making my own personal hand sanitizer out of 70% rubbing alcohol, Jergens, and Comet. Right? I was using Ajax at first, but it's like washing your hands in sand. So that's the closest I come to it.
Anybody else have a nice cocktail they would make?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been making broth. It's a nice little broth. It's hot. It's a hot cocktail. It's a broth. What you do is you just take a little bit of toothpaste, maybe half of the toothpaste gallon, mix it with some water. So you need about 4 or 5 cups of water, half of a toothpaste gallon, a little bit of mouthwash just to get some more liquids in there, and then you just basically you boil some hot Takis. Hot Takis cleans anything.
From the inside out.
Inside out. You just boil some hot Takis and drink that whole stew. You good to go, baby. Corona can't stop no hot Takis.
Is that Adarius? You believe that you had the Rona at one point and beat it?
I don't believe I have it. I did have the Rona.
All right, Darius, you had the Rona. Was that was your method of beating the Rona?
No, Jared, I almost died. Jared, I almost died. There was no beat. At the time, I didn't know about the Rona. I thought I was a little sick. The Rona wasn't popular, and it would happen in January, end of January. wasn't popular.
And
They
Kobe
wasn't
had
talking
died.
about Wuhan, and Kobe had died, so there was a lot going on. And yeah, it was rough, bro. I almost died. I hallucinated and really woke up one night and was like, damn, I'm about to die on my mama's couch right
Damn.
You know, the Illuminati started the COVID.
Skull and Bones. They the ones who disseminated it.
And they killed Kobe. If you watch that footage, you see a drone flying overhead.
I'm gonna check that out.
I'm just trying to take over Jarrett's conspiracy brother role.
You just trying to, you know, maybe one day you could do it. Brandon, you have a cocktail you make?
So this one would instantly clear out my system. Back when I was in middle school, you get the Cool Ranch or the Ranch corn nuts, 2 Hostess cupcakes, and you got to drink the whole tall boy the iced tea, Arizona iced tea. You do all that within 30 minutes, you will clear out your entire system.
Hey, you're not lying. You know what?
That's how I used to cut weight.
That's how I used to cut. That's how I did something similar to Brandon. There used to be that Dollar Chinese next to that Old Man Cleaners on Channing by Telegraph.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
I would go there, buy that, and I would get the orange chicken that was full of sugar, and then they rice that was just the greasiest fried rice ever. And I would go home, and that's whenever I was feeling a little pudgy or something, clean my system out.
Dude, I used to fuck with that Dollar Chinese though. They used to. What about the sandwich joint with the lady who couldn't speak English good?
Which one? Are you talking about the one down there by Berkeley High or cheese?
Tuna mayo, please.
Oh, you talking about Lee's? That's Lee's. That's Lee's. That's where all the like the ugly immigrants they bring over from China. It's not good enough to work in the massage parlors. They put them in Lee's sandwiches. You want cheese? That's what I say. You want cheese? You want cheese? You want cheese? I'm like, huh? You want cheese? That's where all the ugly immigrants that could they were either too old or too. Dude,
Yeah,
it's no lie. They were
racist motherfuckers. I'm out of this, nigga.
Hey, by the way,
ugly.
Watch them old Charlie Chan movies on Amazon.
Yep. Too old or ugly to work in massage parlors. They put them at Lee's sandwiches throughout San Francisco and the one in downtown Berkeley.
I'm about to do it. I'm doing a Peadro. I'm out, nigga. 1, 2, 1, 2, nigga.
Hey, Jason, do you have a remedy or a cocktail you would make with your cleaning disinfectant agents or just home remedies?
So I would have to go with Adarius. You know, a good hot toddy. You know, it can't go wrong. You know,
no hot Takis, nigga.
No.
Yeah. No. It is hot toddy. It's
I'm boiling hot Takis, nigga. It's a taki toddy.
I don't know where you're from, but I mean, when we were a little bougie in South Berkeley, you know, it's hot toddy.
I'm from South Berkeley, nigga.
Hey, so is Jarrett. Jarrett's also from South Berkeley.
I went to South Berkeley High Campus. I went to South Campus.
Jarrett lived somewhere between Adarius where you and Jason Goode live. I've been to both of y'all. I've been to both of y'all family houses. I've been to Adarius' grandma house and Jason mama house, and Jarrett lives somewhere in between y'all too.
I don't know why Aaron always, you know, when we're on some media and stuff, he want to say my whole government name. Stop saying my whole government name. I mean, you said Jason Goode. I mean, hey,
Jason Roderick Goode.
Dude, Aaron was the one that gave me a lecture about security all morning about one time.
No, Aaron is the one that be dropping names left and right from the past. Ain't that right, Peadro?
Hey. 1, 2, nigga.
Yeah,
1, 2.
and look, I told him to stop using my government name. I got I got.
What's up, dual shot?
Look, I use people real names, so when some of these guys' wives come at these wives' husbands come after me, they be like, they don't know who it is. Be like, well, I heard him say Jay Goode. Let me go after him.
Don't use no aliases. Just have people all out in the street. He done said my girlfriend's name, my wife's name, and the girl I got pregnant's name, all on the podcast. So I'm all in type of legal trouble right now. Mama calling me, he's like, "Who is Shirley?"
Yeah, Jarrett.
Oh, Shirley.
This podcast has caused a lot of small claims court stuff.
It ain't my fault. That's Aaron dropping names. Hey, Peadro, who is Orletha?
Why?
I don't know who that is myself. I don't know who that is.
Oh, bro, not Orletha.
Not Orletha.
Here's the funny part. Today is her anniversary. Not a messed up. Could have been Aaron and Orletha's anniversary if I didn't mess it up.
Best thing you ever did. Best thing you ever did.
That couch still got cocoa butter stains.
Mm-hmm.
I still think she got my class ring.
That's
still ain't come out yet.
You got your class ring. When she get your class ring?
That's disgusting.
Hey. Last I know I had my class ring on. She came to visit. We were having a good time. Peadro interrupted, and man, my class ring was missing off my finger.
Yeah,
you started off wrong.
You left that inside of her. Gave her the dual shot.
Yeah. You started off wrong.
I forgot this has been video recorded. Damn it.
Hey, Peadro, do you have we were talking about two men who went to the hospital this past week in Georgia for ingesting forms of disinfectant. One man had 16 ounces of bleach, and another man made a cocktail with including pine sol, beer, and pain medication. I was wondering if you were going to make a cocktail or if you had a home remedy to fight the COVID, what would be in it?
I do. I use honey, lemon, tea, and Purell. So you put about 10% of Purell in your cup, mix that up with the honey, get your tea, that dissolves. That way you got a little bit of alcohol. That's hand sanitizer that runs through your chest. then after that I puff. I hit my inhaler. Real hot.
All right. That's
Shout out to Albuterol sponsorship.
Well, I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, I would take some of that orange oil, that OxyClean orange concentrate. I'll use that as like a nice vermouth on the glass. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll probably take an egg white and a little bit of some soft scrub, and I whip that into a nice froth, right? And then I would probably, you know what I'm saying, pour like a nice little some of that heen dog, just so, get a little heen dog in there. And then probably top it off with a little bit of pine sol, create like a little double layer, like a little heen dog and pine sol with a little nice little soft scrub and egg frothe on top, and have basically like, I don't know what kind of cocktail it is, but it sounds kind of nice. And probably put like a slice of lime in it or something.
Honestly, I've been quarantined too long because I didn't understand a damn cocktail or any mix that you just said.
Oh man, you gotta get what a sweet vermouth is? It's that orange oil.
Huh?
And
it ain't no damn oil.
And then I would
alcohol.
And then I would go to the Oakland Coliseum. I'll go to the Oakland. I should put some scissor in it, some NyQuil. Then I'll also go to Oakland Coliseum and buy some nachos. I'll buy nachos there, and because that always makes me regret it the next day. It cleans out my system real good. So
hey, check it out. So Brandon, just for the record, I did a little time check. The sentence about the two dudes took less than 20 seconds. We've been talking about niggerdom concoctions for 13 minutes.
That's a good
All right,
sentence.
Brandon. There's a time check on the niggerdom. No sports. 13 minutes of niggerdom concoctions.
I was at a meeting once upon a time.
Uh-huh.
And we're gonna have a sports show.
Yep.
I don't know if I missed the next meeting where y'all said, "Hey, fuck all that." But
I was at that
first
meeting,
one.
Brandon. I was at that meeting.
Jared has that meeting with himself every week.
Yep. You send topics, Brandon, and he just erases them as fast as he can. It's the only text messages that he erases on his phone.
I've been using some of them, like one or two. Brandon be sending a list like 30 different things though. He got like Teddy Bridgewater went on a bike ride this week. I was like, nigga, who cares about Teddy
for
Bridgewater?
74 miles.
So,
Hold
good for him.
2 random people in Georgia who are probably going to die from meth overdose. We talked about them for 20 minutes.
Well, you know, we
Exactly.
got 13 minutes of good conversation about about nigga cocktails. So you know, I'm gonna take that.
We talked 30 minutes about 2 people who, if they didn't die by ingesting disinfectant, they probably was gonna be out at some twerking contest in the middle of this quarantine and then die from that. I'm with Brandon.
Yep, I'm with Brandon. Whoopi.
What?
Oh, don't get stabbed, Peadro.
In sports news,
I'll do my best.
Korean baseball is back, my friends. Starting May 5th, South Korean Baseball League will resume play with some adaptations to their game. ESPN is also hopefully working out a bargaining deal to present some of the games so that we'll have live sports. But what I heard is that there will be no fans at the games. They are starting up way sooner than American baseball. What do y'all think about that?
Well, they also been testing a lot sooner and testing more people. And I'm very excited because I don't know how that's going to work with no fans because their baseball seem to be very crowd. Unlike our baseball, theirs is very crowd participant. They do all the bat flips. They have cheerleaders. They have dancers. There's like dance teams. There's people. It'll be like a basketball game. Like how exciting is this going to be missing the crowd? I mean, I'm more disappointed because I'm not going to see one of them K-pop girls come out and throw the first pitch after flipping or doing some crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's my disappointment.
I think they're still going to have the cheerleaders out there, so that'll be good.
Well, then I got something to watch.
Baseball. Yeah, I don't know, but they said if like one player in the league gets COVID, like they're shutting the whole thing down again, though. So I don't know how long this is actually going to last.
Yeah.
Man, this Korea, they gonna lie. They gonna say that player gonna have COVID. You gonna see him in the batter's box having a hard time to breathe, and they gonna claim he messed up his hamstring.
I think you got South and North Korea mixed up, man.
Yeah, South Korea is the one that has the good American values, the good Anglo-capitalistic methodologies and how they run their country.
Yep, and all them pretty women too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wait a minute, South Korea.
You really gotta let me know when I should turn off my camera here. When you gonna say,
Yeah. Let me know. I'm not even
I
near
don't want to just
nobody.
get all spiced up and just me just looking at it.
Especially, I'd rather talk about come and go bond than listen about these K-pop girls. Ooh, get me in trouble, nigga.
Well, so
Blackpink.
y'all excited about baseball coming back on? Or are y'all gonna watch this Korean baseball if we can get access to it here in the States, or you don't really give a fuck about live sports?
It's not just sports. So that's the problem with the rollout in some of these new sports. I've been listening to some of the plans.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, let's start off with Korean baseball. And then there's like soccer leagues that are like super minor clubs that are going to come back. And I'm sitting there like, nobody watched you niggas before. Like, it's not about just sport. It's about quality. Like, that's what made sport great, was watching like great sport. If it was just about sport, nigga, I'd put 10 already quarantined niggas in a field and tell them to play flag football and record it. But nobody gonna watch that shit. That's just stupid. Like me, you, Aaron, Brandon playing flag football, nobody want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's pointless.
I
And so I don't know. I'm not dissing like people who are amateur or who climb the ladder, but not every sport. Like,
Don't worry, I'll diss them, Adarius. Y'all niggas weak.
Yeah, they weak, man. I'd rather watch Ultimate Tag with JJ Watt.
Hey, have you seen those tag games? That shit is off the hook. They have like all these railings and platforms and shit.
You gotta jump over them. Yeah,
that's like high level parkour.
That's quarantine. Make niggas wear gloves, and when you tag a nigga, like keep the mask on.
Have them wear a gas mask. That would be tight. If they wore gas masks, that would add to the level of difficulty too.
Deion Sanders playing tag, nigga, that should be lit.
Deion old now. I don't know how well he be. He got bad knees.
A bunch of old niggas. Charles Barkley playing tag.
I would watch O.J. Simpson play tag with a bunch of beautiful white women. That's what I would watch.
So wait a minute, Adarius. So how about
that game that's stabbed though?
I catch him.
Don't worry, it's a fake knife.
That's crazy.
Now, how about if we watch Korean baseball if they're on steroids?
Yeah,
That might up the level. I may fuck with that.
we got a bunch of Hisop Kims or Hisop Choi's. Whatever that dude's name was.
How do you know every fucking Asian actor in the world?
All the baseball
crazy.
players looking like Bolo from The Last Dragon.
Bolo. He said Bolo, man. I heard that
38-inch
nigga.
chest. That nigga's chest look like 2 legal pads next to each other.
Hey, I think that's the look Jared going for, wearing that female jersey, that female basketball jersey. He going for the Bolo look. He's like, if I wear this
that
tight
ain't-
jersey, everyone gonna think I look like Bolo.
He's going for the Lobo look.
Shout out
Rebecca
to-
Lobo.
Shout out to Luke,
Rebecca Lobo, exactly.
Luke Heckenbreiser.
Hey, don't talk about Rebecca Lobo now.
Did you stitch a theme in on there yourself, Jared?
No, bro, it's on there. It's been on there. This is my JV jersey, bro.
No,
Man, see, you know, a couple weeks ago he showed us how to iron on like pictures on a shirt. So, like, this week you got a jersey.
you got that Saran wrap little hack. You got that from the internet, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So now you got hoodies with Ella all over them.
Oh, you stupid.
I'm stupid.
Well, anybody else have any takes on baseball?
I mean, Major League Baseball's trying to figure out how to come back. I think they're going to either come try to be in Orlando and have all their teams play there.
What did I hear right? One of the articles Brandon you sent was talking about the NBA and WNBA have been offered an entire block and arena to run games at potentially.
Yeah,
in
they're
Vegas.
just going to have them all in Las Vegas hotels. Like they were going to like set up shop there. They just have all their games basically in the same arenas.
Be like summer league
like,
all over.
Like UNLV has an arena, and I forget who else. A couple other arenas that they would play at.
Yeah.
And Vegas would just basically just quarantine them there since ain't nobody gambling right now. Well, at least nobody's gambling on the Vegas Strip right now.
I'm trying to figure out though what they're going to do about all the IG models and all the thoughts that they be bringing in.
Hold on, tell me. That's what the NBA is talking about doing? They're going to Vegas?
Yeah, well, they got offered. I think Adam Silver's not ready to do that.
He came out today and said he doesn't want to separate players from their families.
I heard Orlando.
Yeah. No, baseball's looking at that. NBA was looking at them too, just because they have all those like big sports complexes that they built for all these kids.
Mm-hmm.
And they already have the equipment and everything down there. And plus, it's super tourist friendly. So there's already a lot of hotels they can stay at, things they can do. So Orlando's look like the spot where it might happen if it comes back late June that they were talking about, though.
I ain't worried about the players being away from their families. That's what they like. They like being away from their families and getting at them Insta thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. So you get Instagram models. You quarantine them too. You get the top 10. Whoever those are, Ash Kevin.
Whoever got the most likes this month get to go spend a month at the NBA facilities. Just get ran through. Or get wifed up. Maybe. You never know. Maybe.
You also have to have STD testing too, because them niggas ain't responsible.
How about an IQ test?
Brandon, UFC 249 is happening this upcoming week in Jacksonville, Florida. Why? Because it's Florida. The card is action-packed. It's packed with a lot of good matchups, even with the people who dropped out from the original fight. One reason is because UFC 249 and UFC 250 have basically combined. So now you have a main card with a bunch of big names and a bunch of big fights. Brandon, can you read down the list of the fights that are happening at 249, please?
There's a lot of fights. So the co-main event is Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. I don't know how to say it.
Gaethje.
Gaethje.
Uh-huh.
And then Henry. Jared. See, here's why I send you the list. I send you the list with the sources. That way you can share the screen. I'm gonna do it for you. You can share the screen. I was like, why am I gonna read all this? Well, we could just put it on the screen, and then we all know.
Oh, we all know.
He rather share videos of dumb shit. That's what he rather share. He don't want to share important stuff.
I got all kinds of good videos. Okay, here we go. So we have the main card is starts off with Greg Hardy fighting Jorgen De Castro at the heavyweight.
Ooh, I saw that. That's hard.
That'll be an interesting fight. Greg Hardy has had a sketchy past, and has had
a sketchy life.
He's only really beat up one female, so I don't know if it's sketchy life.
You gonna say
he had a rough year.
You gonna say a sketchy past? That whole list got a sketchy past. I wouldn't trust none of them motherfuckers. They say you don't want to see people in a dark alley. I don't want to see none of these people in a lit alley. I don't want to see them at their baby's christening.
Dominic Cruz is saucy though.
Dominic Cruz hasn't fought in 4 years. That'll be an interesting fight, but he's back. Last time he fought, he got scraped up by your boy TJ Dillashaw. No, it was the dude from Ohio Aaron loves with all the tattoos, Cody Garbrandt. But he's back from a 4-year absence, and we'll see if he can, get over that hill, maybe win a title one last time. He's getting pretty old and has a future as a broadcaster. You also have Jeremy Stevens garbage, Kevin Couture, I don't know who that is. But then you have Yair Rozenstruik versus Francis Ngannou. That'll be, somebody's going to get knocked out probably. Let's just say.
Somebody throws a punch.
Either it's gonna be like that last fight you watched, Aaron, where nobody threw a punch because they were both afraid of each other and nothing happens, or somebody's getting knocked out pretty fast.
You know what? That was like watching people do capoeira at Lake Merritt, where you're like, man, what's the point of this shit? I'd rather watch somebody break dance in the 80s, right? At least they had a little style together. Like
at least they might actually get in a fight at the end.
Exactly. After a while, like I'm tired of watching people with capoeira playing the fucking drum and that one string instrument and nobody kicking each other. And some of these UFC fights turn into capoeira around the lake.
Yeah, capoeira is all about spirituality, man. It's about balance and peace, bro.
Man, it's about slaves.
You'll see a better fight at a corner store with two drunk motherfuckers.
Exactly. Two drunk trying to get the last fifth.
Mm-hmm. They both drunk, so they both look like they're doing capoeira.
They do that nigga capoeira.
The nigga capoeira.
That wino capoeira. It's called walking.
It's called Careza.
But the two main fights that you can see is Henry Cejudo versus Dominic Cruz, and then you got Tony Ferguson for the interim lightweight belt going against Justin Gaethje. Khabib Nurmagomedov could not make it because he's stuck in Russia or Dagestan, so he's not gonna make it. But it looks like that could be an interesting fight. I know I said it's not what we want because it's not the original fight. However, Justin Gaethje is definitely a type of fighter who pushes the action and comes forward and always is looking to exchange with the hands. And basically, he takes a lot of punishment to try and give a lot of punishment. So he's always a fun guy to watch. I think it's going to create a good fight, but I'm just not sure how it's going to play out. I feel like Gaethje usually wears people down, and so does Ferguson. So we're going to see who breaks first. Yeah. And then other than that,
that's the one right here.
I saw the best fight.
I think that's going to be the best fight.
That's not going to be the best fight. Donald Cerrone is old. Doesn't need to. Donald Cerrone Cowboy Cerrone needs to retire. He need to retire, bro. He need to retire.
Okay, word. So I know who Anthony Pettis is. That's Cowboy Cerrone. I remember that dude.
Anthony Pettis is still pretty entertaining.
Yeah, he's dope.
Anthony Pettis is gonna beat his ass. That's the one even be close.
But Cowboy Cerrone's dope though, bro. You gotta watch out. Like he'll throw some wild shit. Yo,
have you seen Cowboy Cerrone in his last like 3 fights, bro?
Nah, I haven't. I didn't even know
this.
Dominic Cruz wasn't even in the UFC right now.
He fight like he got the amount of blood sugar in his body as me and Peadro after eating 2 dozen Krispy Kremes.
Or Colonial Donuts.
Yeah, Colonial Donuts and strawberry donuts.
Hey, there's only one fight up there I'm really interested in, and that's the Carla Espinoza-Michelle Waterson fight.
Aaron, you got to learn how to read.
Carla Esperanza, and Michelle Waterson.
Aaron, no.
Give it to him.
That's not a magic moment. That just wasn't reading correctly.
Nigga, you read the name wrong twice.
Because I was so busy thinking about Michelle Waterson, to be honest.
No, you said Carla Espinoza. And then he said, no, read it again. You're like, oh, Carla Esperanza. Like, nigga.
All right, who cares, man? I was too busy jocking Michelle Waterson.
What are you hoping to see out of that fight?
I don't know, torn clothing, modeling, maybe some posting up.
I hope to see a titty pop out.
Or coconut oil being drizzled from the stadium roof. It's a lot of things I'm looking forward to. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that's what I'm going for.
It's like I want to see some pegging.
Mm-hmm. Hey, yeah. See, she's one of the very few USC people that still looks attractive while fighting. A lot of them, like Misha Tate, she looks attractive when she's not fighting and when she's like posing. And then once you get in the ring, you're like, who the fuck is that? Michelle Watterson looks attractive while fighting.
No, Michelle Watterson.
Have you seen? Hey, look up her sister for me real quick, Brandon. Her sister now. Oh my! Just put in Michelle Watterson's sister.
This is part of Aaron. This is what we talk about.
Screen share.
This is what we talk about. With Aaron like, yeah, but
go to the one in the purple back, the top left. That's it. That's her sister, right?
Yeah, she's famous. But have you seen her sister?
They both are, and they both are in UFC.
No. The sister's not.
Yeah, Watterson is fine. Her sister is pretty fine too.
She actually has two sisters. They both pretty hot, but that one's the hottest. So the youngest, the hottest.
This is what Aaron can tell you about women's MMA.
Contribution.
What'd you say, Brandon? What'd you say?
So he doesn't know the fighter that well. He just knows that she has a pretty sister.
Just like Emma Ross, and be like, man, she can't act good, but I tell you, come on.
Hey, we all have to specialize in something. You know how Jarrett's reading off the names of some of these fools that we don't know shit about? And he's like, man, I saw the last 3 fights, and he's been training with this guy. Look, man, that's just my specialty, man. I look up the ladies. Jarrett look up the fellas. He like going to watch Jarrett like watching the weigh-ins for the guys in Speedos. I like watching the women, man. What's the difference? I'm not yucking his yum. Don't yuck mine.
I can't believe, man. This is low niggerdom.
You know what? At least I'm telling you about how they fight in some history. I mean, Jarrett got
you basically pulling a motherfucking NFL draft day on us. You just giving us storylines that are useless.
But hey, nobody died. I'm not telling you, at least I'm not doing like the NFL draft and talking about people. Hey, man, his dad drowned when the little brother was eaten by an alligator. His mama only got one ovary.
USC shout out sponsorship. Come on our show.
There were more than like 500,000 Pornhub searches for Carmen Electra after
Rodman. Yeah, after the Rodman.
Damn, fools didn't even know that she wasn't a porn star. What they looking for on Pornhub for?
Talking about 500,000?
All they gotta do is just go back to go to MTV when they do they flashback to the 90s.
500,000 or billion?
500,000. 500,000 searches just on Pornhub.
That's not a lot.
That was right after a sports documentary on The Last Dance.
But didn't she do a sex tape, or wasn't there like a leaked video of her like naked somewhere?
She was posed in Playboy, but it was nothing, you know.
I remember there's a rumor.
Taco Pablo, 500,000 hits isn't a lot, especially when 1,000 of them are coming from Aaron's house. So if there's 500 niggas like Aaron in the world.
Aaron spelled Electra 18 different ways too.
He just kept trying to figure out how to spell Electra.
Nah, see, I spell those things right, and I use them on different devices too. We searching them up.
See?
I got hey man, I got my computer, I got my iPad, my phone. My old phones still go online.
Aaron also got a VR console.
Aaron turned on 5 different videos so he could have a gangbang in his living room. He's like, look at them fucking. Look, now everybody's fucking.
It's a reverse gangbang. I set them up all in a circle, and I'm in the middle.
Aaron does Zoom gangbangs on Wednesday night.
Zoom gangbangs.
Am I the only one aroused right now?
Okay, wow. So with Peadro for a second.
Come on, Jerry.
It's like, damn, Peadro, calm down, my nigga. Peadro going off the deep end. Going hard.
We ain't getting nowhere.
Hold on.
Sorry about your list, Brandon.
He saw
Hold on, I gotta get it.
Jared stepped up on the list for the week.
He saw Aaron's devices. He went crazy. I was like, man, Peadro.
What the hell you doing, Jared?
I spit coffee everywhere, bro.
Damn, this nigga.
Hey, Jared. Jared,
All
is
right.
that Alex Morgan's jersey number when she went to school there?
Come on.
Jared, you look like you was kicked off the Sunset Park team.
NFL news. Some interesting signings this week in the world of NFL QBs. And this week in the NFL, Teddy Bridgewater went on a 74-mile bike ride. I don't even know what that has to do with anything, but it just popped in my head, so I'm going to say that. But in other news, the Chicago Bears have decided not to pick up the fifth-year option for your boy. I can't even remember his name right now. God,
Mitch Trubisky.
Mitch Trubisky, that weak motherfucker. I'm going to forget about him soon enough when he's not in the league anymore. Mitch Trubisky, the Bears did not exercise their fifth-year option on Mitch Trubisky. Also, the Saints signed Jameis Winston to a one-year deal. Jameis Winston is moving on to an in-division rival, the Saints, to play behind Drew Brees and potentially play behind Taysom Hill for a year. And lastly, but not least, but still the least, the Cowboys signed Andy Dalton to a one-year deal, $3 million guaranteed, $7 million potentially to be their backup quarterback. Any takes about any of these signings or non-signings this week, guys?
I think so. Think about the fifth-year option. Like you get the average of like the top 10 contracts if they pick up your fifth option when you start
of that position. Yeah.
So they save money by not doing that. Pick up that fifth year, so they get one more year to see how he does. And if he does the same thing he did last year, they got Nick Foles now, and they can just go forward with him, or they can probably sign him for less. After this year, if he has the same performance, we can sign for it'll be a lot cheaper based on his performance. So that's the thing about him. But apparently half of all 2017 first round picks didn't get their fifth year option picked up. That includes like people like Leonard Fournette, a few wide receivers. I forgot the list here.
Taco Charlton.
Ready to hate. Yeah, man. But he hasn't been that good. I mean, he hasn't been good enough for the defense that he has and the coach that he has. Like everyone should be doing better in Chicago than they are. They put it out.
I think everyone realized what their strength was, and it was moving the pocket and allowing him to get simple, easy reads. And once teams realize, just play press man cover against whoever his receivers are, and spy a linebacker, and then make him have to make the hard decisions and put the ball accurately in small spaces. He can't do that. He cannot do that. And that's why they struggled this year, because the first year, Nagy came over and he schemed open a lot of simple reads, a lot of moving the pocket, and a lot of things that ended up being throws that are really hard to miss for him. Non-moving target type throws. And so they thrived because they caught a lot of people off guard. But once people realized what their MO was and they kind of started tinkering to be prepared for that, you saw him regress because he's not a good quarterback. I'd almost rather have Taysom Hill than him as my quarterback. I don't know about y'all. But
no, I'm not going that far.
Well, I think they should sign him to whatever Taysom Hill gets signed to, because he probably throw just about as good as Taysom Hill, maybe a little better.
All right, man. I think he has a chance to still be good, though. I mean, once they figure out what he is, just look at the person who's backing up, Nick Foles, man. He's good in Philadelphia. Once they figured out how he plays and what his strengths are, I think another year, hopefully Nagy gets it right, because if they don't, I mean, he's going to get fired anyway. So
yeah,
it's easier to figure it out.
Look, Chicago, I'll be honest, is a quarterback away from being a really good team. Put it like this: you put someone else better. You put Andy Dalton on Chicago, and they're fighting for a playoff spot, right? You put Dak Prescott on Chicago, and they're definitely favored to go to NFC title game, right? You put Russell Wilson on Chicago, and they're Super Bowl favorites. They got everything except a damn quarterback.
How did you just skip to Dak Prescott being an NFC champion?
He could.
Then Russell Wilson
because he's that good.
Super Bowl contender.
Because he's that good.
No, you put any reasonable quarterback on that. Not last year, but the year before Chicago team.
I'm talking about last year. I'm talking about last year.
Even both. He mixed both of them. You put any quarterback on there, and they're a Super Bowl contender.
Not any
was
quarterback.
out
You can't put
there
Jameis Winston
throwing
on
the
there.
rock. I don't know.
You cannot put Jameis Winston on that team and call him a Super Bowl quarterback, man. Winning team.
Damn, Jameis Winston got a bad rap, man.
Bad rap. 30 touchdowns going the other way ain't no bad rap.
Do any of y'all know what a BBC is?
What's that got to do with quarterbacks?
His name and name quarterback. You know what? I think, Jameis Winston going to play with Sean Payton behind Drew Brees is going to be great. I think he's going to have the Teddy Bridgewater effect. And if anything, they're going to be able to coach him and help him improve his decision-making. Granted, you can't cure ignorance. And I think that Jameis Winston has a genetic predisposition to ignorance. Unfortunately, I was rooting for him for a long time, but I've realized, if it act like a duck, quack like a duck, it's probably a duck, right? But
it's probably Jarrett.
It's probably a coon. But yeah, so Jameis Winston, I think it could be good because maybe he learns a little bit he's still going to probably be a gunslinger. He's always going to be a gunslinger. And unfortunately, we don't talk about the black cowboys of the world. We don't talk about the black wranglers that, help cultivate the West. All we talk about is the beautiful white men who smoked Marlboros and rode horses and killed Indians. So you got to be white to be a gunslinger in this country, historically, in the NFL, wherever you are.
We got to this.
So Jameis Winston is not allowed to be a gunslinger because he's a Negro. That's what I'm saying. You can't be a gunslinger, can't be a cowboy because you're a Negro.
No, you can't. All right, so.
But maybe he becomes a little bit more under control to where he can still have some of those gunslinger mentality and tendencies, but he's not quite as reckless as he has been. Especially
Are you talking about like an actual gunslinger?
Yeah, like all right. Quick question. How many Negroes have been, other than the one with Mario Van Peebles, so that was Posse, that was a tight movie. How many movies have you seen where it's niggas just out here just gunslinging, bang, 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 like playing cowboys and shit?
Belly?
No, I'm talking about cowboys, like gunslinger. That's hood rap. That's gang shit. That's gang shit.
Big Daddy Kane, and Big
Silverado.
Posse.
Silverado.
Big Daddy Kane was in Posse. He was Father Time in Posse.
Over, man.
The Wire.
The Django.
The Django. That's a good one. But
that's
you know what?
Big one.
That took a while to get.
Denzel Washington in Magnificent Seven.
Yep.
Okay.
Denzel Washington in the Book of Eli.
Yeah. That wasn't. He was not a cowboy. He wasn't a gunslinger either.
Samuel Jackson in The Hateful Eight.
Mm-hmm. We talk about very recent movies where things are becoming more woke and allowable, right?
You 30 in this woke time. You acting like you 70. You 30 in this woke time.
I can go on Amazon Prime. I can go on Amazon.
Predator too, nigga. Calm down.
I can go on Amazon. That's not a gunslinger though. I'm talking about a gunslinger like bang bang, like Cactus Jack type.
Man, they give you all kind of examples, Jared. You just trying to put on strict rules on it, man.
No, I'm just saying, bro. There's not been
gunslinger means gunslinger. Idris Elba in The Dark Tower. He wore a cowboy hat.
How you think that nigga got the teardrop in South Central?
Exactly. Your favorite movie, South Central. He was a gunslinger.
You're man. Nobody punking nobody here.
Oh, that movie was horrible. Hey, when that movie came out, me and Peadro started telling people we was from Inglewood.
Oh shit. Well, all I'm saying is that
I went to Crozier.
You're not allowed to be a gunslinger as a black quarterback, and they're going to give you a chance. Like Brett Favre was given a lot of chances to be a gunslinger and just continue to throw interceptions. And his team was really good sometimes, and his team was really mediocre sometimes. And he has a legend. They love him, right? Probably because he won a Super Bowl early on, so they gave him that credit. But still, like, Jameis Winston could probably be a Brett Favre type, but they're not going to let a black dude be that kind of quarterback. They don't give black quarterbacks the chances they give white quarterbacks. That's just period point blank.
That was basically Michael Vick's career, just throwing it as far as he could to whoever was going to catch him. Though. I mean, they let you if you're good enough. If you stop throwing it to the other team.
Yeah, but Michael Vick was also a brand. Michael Vick was an electrifying brand that was a source of entertainment and money that was beyond the sport.
But Michael Vick didn't throw that shit to the other team like Jameis Winston.
But yeah,
Cordell Stewart.
Dude, Warren Moon only threw it high.
Cordell Stewart had to share time as a quarterback, and then he didn't. Then he was just out there running routes and then throwing option passes.
No. He took over the starter. He took over the starter, and they should have gave him. He should have got endorsements for that cream to stop you from bumping up because he would have been a perfect spokesperson for that.
Yeah,
he
Gillette.
had bumps.
Gillette did not give him the best a man could get. Dude, all I'm saying is they don't give black quarterbacks the same chance.
It's a magic shield.
But anyways, I think Jameis Winston for sure could have some good come out of it, and hopefully maybe he finds himself on the other side of this with another starting opportunity.
What was his contract? Anybody know how much money he
got? It's 1 year, probably like something similar to Andy Dalton.
It wasn't a lot, yeah.
5-6 million.
I thought Andy Dalton got more money.
I think Andy Dalton might have gotten more, but yeah.
Apparently, Jameis Winston got a contract offer from Pittsburgh, but he turned it down. But he decided to go to the Saints and back up.
That was silly. I would have went to Pittsburgh.
I would have gone to Pittsburgh too.
You could be playing. I don't think Ben Roethlisberger can stay upright.
Playing with Pittsburgh receivers after that, and their running back, whoever the hell that's going to be this year.
Yeah,
playing with James Conner and who's the other guy? Juju Smith-Schuster.
No, they got the deep threat. What's that kid's name? Washington.
His name Washington.
Some nigga. All I'm gonna say is this, Peadro. If he went to Pittsburgh, it'd probably be a better situation for him to learn as a man, for him to grow.
He a man.
To become a man. But
that's what he needs to do. But
that nigga ain't trying to leave the bayou. He trying to stay access to them crab legs and other shit. He's like, man, I got that southern good food down here, and I can party on Fleet Street and Bourbon Street, wherever.
He'll learn how to be a better quarterback under Drew Brees than he would under Roethlisberger.
Yeah, Roethlisberger probably teach him how to go rape some more.
Exactly. He's the worst person. That's the best decision he made for himself.
At least Ben Roethlisberger would tell him, hey, this is how you do it. Put her in the stall so nobody see you instead of doing it in the damn Uber when everybody's out.
Yeah, he's like, don't do it in the Uber. Don't have your friends text you to come over and see this drunk, passed out girl. No. You get her drunk at the bar and then follow her to the bathroom.
That was all Jarrett.
Allegedly, that's what you do. Yeah, it's bad though. But yeah, Jameis Winston, shout out sponsorship. Cuddy Corner shout outs.
It's time.
We're burning now. God, if you let it in. Hell! So cold and bleeding now. I'm in for this, man. Gonna let you down. He had sex with my mama. We're broken people now. I just said I need a backyard.
Aaron, do you have a Cuddy Corner shout out?
Yeah, my shout out today goes to the LAPD. I guess with the quarantine in and a lot of brothers being staying at home or at their girl's house playing Madden in NBA 2K, I guess they ain't got enough people to shoot. So word just came in, the LAPD, 2 officers while off duty shot each other.
Come on.
Not enough brothers outside, they starting to shoot themselves. They getting antsy. So, shout out, Cuddy Corner shout out goes to LAPD and to the COVID-19. Just so they know, I hope we get a couple of those brothers that Jarrett mentioned earlier from Georgia. Let them walk the streets of LA just so they can get shot out a few times, so the PD can get that out their system. So when everything's lifted, the brothers can walk around and do things with a little bit more peace.
Aaron, I think you're thinking that the people in Georgia who were drinking the disinfectant were black. I'm almost 100% sure they were white people watching the news briefings from Donald Trump.
There ain't no white people in Georgia. Atlanta is a black city.
Yeah, I didn't say Atlanta. I said Georgia. They didn't say Atlanta. They said
ain't no other city in Georgia other than Atlanta.
Adarius, you ready now?
I gotta do it last. Nope, I gotta do it last. I'm about to hop in I'm in the club.
In the club right now?
Yeah. My Cuddy Corner shout out goes to Oregon for having stupid ass marijuana laws.
It's like they got a dealer on every corner, but you can't use it.
Yeah. The state of Oregon needs to really figure out this marijuana thing. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever experienced. And I mean, there's clubs everywhere. I'm outside of a weed club and a Burger King all at the same time. But yet you can't smoke this stuff. So shout out to Oregon. That's my Cuddy Corner shout out.
They want you to recreate at home alone.
Yeah, but there's not. I don't own a home. That makes no sense.
That's how they do it, man. You know what you need to get one of them. Take one of the paper towel rolls and put a bunch of tissues and what is it, dryer sheets in there, and then blow the smoke out through that. It works.
Come on, man.
Trust, believe. Pothead tricks back from 2000, 99 and 2000.
Back when you was a superstar on the field hockey team.
Back when I was balling back in my prime, baby. Peadro, do you have a Cuddy Corner shout out?
No, I didn't prepare one, but I'll just go ahead and give it to protesters again. Man, the beachgoers, the protesters, and the protesters with the guns, especially because what are you protesting? Now, either you standing up for freedom or you standing there to look like you a badass.
Yeah.
I don't have some of them weapons. You see that dude? I think one of them fools had a light machine gun.
Yeah.
You supposed to get with a light machine gun.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait till it's real martial law when they bring that tank with the 50 caliber on top of it. Let's see how you handle that.
Yeah.
Point that at your dome and see how you handle that, Jack.
Yeah.
And these fools, it's just, I don't know. These, my beautiful white people. You're going to be that stupid, just lend me your beautiful white woman. I'll take care of it.
My Cuddy Corner shout out kind of piggybacks on that a little bit, Peadro. The Great Depression lasted approximately 40 plus months, right? 40 months or longer. We have been in lockdown, in a recession, depression, whatever you want to call it. Most things unable to work for 1.5 months, depending on, well, maybe a month, depending on what state you're in, right?
Okay.
And motherfuckers losing their mind, like they losing their rights and their freedom. Motherfucker, that tells you how snowflake these conservative, however you want to call them, the conservatives, the free right, the liberals, the liberalists, or the libertarians, whoever they are, and the fact that the Great Depression, which you talk about, you know, family history and this, that, and the other, lasted 40 months. That is almost 4 years of time where motherfuckers had no jobs. Motherfuckers was eating out of a dust bowl. Motherfuckers was driving jalopies if they could afford one. Okay? The only good thing to eat was called Grapes of Wrath. And it was by a chef named Steinbeck.
You just naming every book, dude.
All I know is that it was 40 months, more than 40 months. So for people to be out here being like, I want my freedom back, I've been in the house for 3 weeks. No, nigga, it just means right now you got to do something a little different for about a month, maybe a couple months. It's not that bad. Trust me, it's not that bad. We have way more forms of entertainment and way more resources to be able to sustain ourselves in this first world country. Unfortunately, some places in our country don't, and we need to help those people out and those citizens or those non-citizens who are, you know, here for purposeful reasons. But everyone else out there that's out there pulling out guns and going out to the beach being mad they can't go to the fucking beach, get your shit together, you fucking privileged, entitled, ass, dumb, soft motherfuckers, number one. You bring your guns out because you think you hard. No, you soft, okay? You're soft. You go out there and show off your guns, man. You might as well just walk out there with a man thong on, have your nuts sticking out the side of it. That's what you should do if you really hard. God damn it. And so, yeah, 40 months versus 1 month. Get your shit together, Americans. Basically, white, beautiful white people who are losing their shit and protesting. My second Cuddy Corner shout out goes out to the people who created the Last Dance documentary. As fucked up as Dennis Rodman is, or has been, or as crazy and wild as he went in the 90s, they did not do enough depth of research to explain the person he was. All they did was like, man, growing up in the projects, shit was kind of crazy. Grew up in the project with my mama, blah, blah, blah. My mama was there and then she kicked me out when I was 18. And I was living on the streets and not knowing what to do. And then, you know, then I got drafted to the NBA. I went to a small little southwestern Oklahoma State college, got drafted, you know, whatever. Like, no, nigga, you was crazy. You did some wild shit. What created that? in your youth? What did you see or experience in your youth? That's what they did not go into, and that's what they should have gone into. And I'm upset because they glossed over that real quick to then send him to the NBA and all of a sudden have him, flourish as a crazy motherfucker in the NBA.
Documentaries, especially, I think we're seeing this change, and when we watch documentaries and docuseries now, where it used to be, it got to those depths of things, right? Right? Like it didn't spare anything. Like that's what I want to see. Like Jordan, like remember he was worried. He was like, "Oh man, I hope I don't look like a bad guy." But I feel like it's breezing over too much. Jordan was an asshole to Hobson, to a couple other people. They said it was bad. And you know how they showed Pippen on the bus? I read stories years ago, 10, 15 years ago, where Jordan was worse than Pippen was to Jerry Krause on the bus. They said Jordan, after wins, would come on the bus with a six-pack, start drinking, and would go off on Jerry Krause about draft picks, about Brad's, about sellers, about all these people, and just go off. And this just really, it's been too much of a breezing over. Like, I feel like this is like, hey, let's celebrate this Last Dance team instead of going into, like you said, detail. I've been enjoying it because it's a nod to 90s basketball, right? 80s and 90s, but it's not going into anything.
Yeah, they glossing over shit.
Like Jordan's gambling. Jordan had a bad time gambling habit. Remember,
they got to go into that eventually. They got to go into that.
We'll see. I feel like they're going to breeze over it, man.
Yeah. Well, my brother, shout out to my brother, RCO too. He was bringing that up and saying that he's disappointed because Jordan Brand or his production company is like one of the main producers of this. So no matter what, you're going to get, they're going to make sure that they're inputting their lens. And I was like, yeah, their inputting their lens is gonna give it rose-colored, shading or whatever however you say it is, and try and tinge it in the favor of Jordan. But at the same time, I'm like, you're at least gonna get you get the player or the people being represented with a little more control, which I think is positive. In this case, I think that they're not going as deep into some of the backstory or some of those nitty-gritties that like it's like, yeah, man, that shit, like that's what I want to know, like how they persevered around that shit, or what got them to that point. You know what I'm saying? They told me about Scottie Pippen having a daddy in a wheelchair and a younger brother or older brother in a wheelchair. Like that's some shit I didn't know. Like that was like that's kind of
the reason why he signed that long-term deal with no money, because he he needed security for his family. I want
to know what Rodman's dark dirty secret was that led him to persevere, go to college, make the NBA, become not a star but a well-recognized, very good player in the NBA for 6 seasons, and then all of a sudden he ends up going and sitting in his car with a shotgun about to blow his head off. And
it's suicide. Exactly.
What got him to that point?
They're not going to let it get that dark. And once I saw that Jordan had the final say, like he had to see it all before it came out, I was like, this isn't going to get nitty gritty. It is. Yeah. I already knew that. It wasn't going to get to any points. We hadn't even gone over Jordan punching Steve Kerr. I mean, there's still a lot.
Carol Baskin.
Jordan had to get his frustration out somehow. Gambling with mob bosses. You're gonna punch Steve Kerr.
God damn it!
But didn't they go into depth with Dennis Rodman's problems and other docuseries? I believe they did.
It's funny because so they already were taping it, this and that, and Jordan didn't get permission for this to go through until, would you believe it, the day after LeBron won the title against the Warriors with the Cavs. And so it almost comes off as a haterish move to me on Jordan's part that he waited to, that the day after was when he gave permission for this to be produced. I heard the guy who did all the putting together and filming it, he was trying to get Jordan's permission for a while and he wouldn't give it to him.
I just bought a lot of mediocre weed.
for a good price?
Yeah, I got like 9 grams for $50.
Hey, that mid-grade.
It's all that mid-grade.
It'll do the job. It might not taste like Lysol, but Pine Sol.
No, it's definitely gonna taste like Pine Sol.
Hey, shout out to Kevin Blackman Escobar talking about, man, this dude, my dealer got this strain called Pledge, man. It tastes like Pledge. I was like, nigga, that's a chemical. He's like, man, it got that Pledge flavor though. They know that smell of Pledge. That's what it tastes like. I'm like, that don't sound good, Kevin. And he's like, it's hella good. You better recognize that.
Sounds like some nigger though.
It is straight nigger.
All right, I gotta go.
All right, well, well, that is our show, my friend. That is our show.
Speak on the damn podcast.
That is our show, my friend. Any last words, Adarius?
No, I don't have any last words because I don't want to leave this podcast with any more bad, malicious intent on your life.
I need my weed smokers to suggest a good CBD oil.
Weed smokers ain't touching CBD oil. Kevin don't know what it
Yeah, I'm
is.
about to say it's called olive oil.
You can't ask a weed smoker about CBD oil.
You should get some CBD gummies. Aaron, any final words?
Yeah, I like to give a shout out to the Canadian Prime Minister, Trudeau. He put a ban on assault weapons after a couple months ago they had that mass killing in Nova Scotia where the perpetrator and the idiot dressed up like the cops pulled people over and killed the whole mass of people. So he just signed an executive order banning all assault rifles in all of Canada. He said, an AR-15 was designed for one thing, and that was to kill a lot of people at once, and there's no need for any Canadian citizen to have this, and no need for our country to have this. So I'd like to give a positive, big shout out to him, knowing what it takes to keep people safe and doing what it takes to keep this country and people safe, and not letting it be politicized over money, which is what our gun control is all about.
Yeah, that is our show, my friends. Shout out to all the people toting guns, walking around in the state buildings and courthouses, Michigan and wherever, acting like they ready to do something, man. Because you walk into my house with a gun, acting like you ready to do something, you might get a machete to the neck, and then I'm gonna take your gun and shoot you with it.
This ain't Call of Duty, Jarrett.
It sounds like Jarrett gonna be dead.
Shit. Well, it's just brazen behavior by some beautiful, entitled, privileged, snowflake white people. Anyways, well, thanks for listening to the show. Shout out to New York, Maryland, Montana, North Carolina, Illinois, Oregon. We got a lot of downloads. North Carolina, what I said that already, and a couple in Tennessee. Shout out to Tennessee also. Keep plugging along with us and send us out to your friends and your family and your homies. Aside from that, that is our show, and we will leave you with this. I don't know if Darius got the squirts or what's going on.
Oh, my fault. I thought we ended the show like an hour ago.
Darius' asshole is just spraying the water bowl. All right, and we will leave you with this.
First of all, white man, let me say that I love you, honor you, envy you, enjoy your smell, and I celebrate you in the name of white Jesus.
Aaron only goes to the porn stars with check marks on their names.
If you
Check
look at
marks.
Aaron's search, you look at Aaron's search engine, it's MILFs.
It's either that or
It's MILFs. Exactly. MILFs, Grand MILFs, GILFs.
Grand MILFs. All amateur too.
Aaron got a bunch of stepdad porn. Stepdad fantasy porn.
Hey, Adarius, real talk. I went into a truck stop. What do you call that? Porn. Hey, I'm doing a Zoom meet. Jeez. I'm in here messing with you and Tati's conversation. And y'all start talking about me.
Mama, I'm in the basement.
Jerry, you better stop recording for her where this end up getting subpoenaed.
Yep. Another small claims evidence.
Aaron typed this in his search engine last week.
If you black of skin and full of sin, come forward.
I think Peadro about to get his ass beat.
gonna see his wife and mama gonna both be hitting his ass.
Hey, you better duck, nigga.
I think he getting hit right now. Look like he rolling.
Yeah, this is like Blair Witch.
Oh, this is hilarious. Y'all are funny. Oh,
watch out,
wife
nigga.
and
Watch
mama
out.
both hitting him.
That nigga about to get stabbed on camera. Yeah, record this, Jared. This nigga need evidence back up. Yeah,
Exactly. Hey,
we saw them
all the help I can
we
get.
saw them put the blade right next to the nigga V-neck.
Oh, he said a V-neck. Oh, that's cool.
They put a knife. They put a knife right to the nigga's V-neck. Saw it on camera.
All right. Well, let's move on.
I only testify if Jared wears that jersey to court.
Jared, don't get mad. That's you got that from Berkeley High.
Shout out to Luke Breckenheisen. Come on our show.
Tell that girl from the field hockey team to come on our show. She the real superstar.
Come on. In other news, our next bit of news is sports related for Brandon's sake.
Oh.
You ready?
You better be fast, Jared, because it's getting that time. Brandon getting itchy. I gotta watch this Last Dance. Walk the dog for the Last Dance. Come on.
All right.
Too, dude. Last Dance come on at 6. I gotta hurry up.
What, Aaron? What do you want to watch?
The Last Dance.
Yeah, the documentary on the Bulls on ESPN.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you thought it was that with that Negro and that beautiful white woman from 2000, didn't you?
You talking about Save the Last Dance or something?
Yeah, what was that white woman's name, Aaron? Tell us her name.
Man, she wasn't fine. That's Julia Stiles.
Julia Stiles. Yep, she was a mediocre, beautiful white woman.
She got better looking when she got older, but yeah.